Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Amen Brother podcast. It's nice to be back. We've just been chatting shit for the last 20 minutes. So
Forgot to press record.
We've got to press record. I'm sure Jack's going to add loads of this in at the end. So, yeah. Nice to be back. Nice to see everyone's faces. The sun's out. Everyone's smiling. Everyone's happy.
It's nice to be back, isn't it?
It's lovely.
It's nice to see your faces again.
I mean, I saw you quite recently, to be fair.
Yeah, you did. You had a secret lover in the music video.
This is out now as well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed
God.
to come to that, and I flaked. I'm sorry.
Jack, you would have had to dance, though.
Yeah, you'd have had to dance.
Oh, yeah, that's
On
exactly
camera.
why I was going to come.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate, I can bust a move. I'll do it in front of a camera.
I've never seen you dance.
Oh, really?
I've never seen you dance.
For the first video broadcast episode of the podcast, I will
We're
treat
going to
you.
do a little shuffle.
Yeah.
And it was me and Andy Faye Black, and we...
What, that was the love interest?
No, yeah, we were the ones flirting. We were just chatting about snares for the whole time, to be fair. But no, it was an experience, yeah. It was a long shoot as well, 10 hours.
It was terrible for John. Basically, he just got fed free Jägermeister and had loads of models dancing around him all day.
Oh, I remember hearing
It was
about
real
it.
hard work.
He was pretty gassed about the whole thing, I remember.
Honestly, it's one of the toughest days I've ever had. It was, it was horrible. But no, welcome, Josh Unglued.
Cheers, mate.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Glad to be doing something that's not just sitting in my house.
Yeah?
Yeah, feels good.
I mean, sun's out. What more could you want? A room with no windows and,
and
free
false
men.
light.
And artificial lighting. Yeah.
Three slightly sweaty men.
Yeah, this room's going to smell peak in about 2 hours.
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
I mean, you got a dog now. Surely that's been providing some...
Yeah, it has endless entertainment.
Yeah, and you're quite near the seaside as well.
Yeah, I've been taking him to the beach in the morning, and yeah, it's been proper nice.
Yeah, so I mean, it can't be all bad, man. We've been sat in boxes in London, just doing the grind. So can't be that bad.
Nah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, how is Stanley? I miss him. My
misses you.
nephew, man.
Yeah, your godson.
Yeah,
When did you meet him?
he came to the video shoot, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
He had a cameo in the video shoot.
You know what, as well? Yeah, I have to say, for a dog so young, he literally just it was a 10-hour shoot. He just sat on the side, just behaved himself like literally the whole time.
Yeah.
No drama.
He's
Sick.
pretty good. Well,
Very-
when there's stuff going on, he's good. Like
Yeah.
if he's like nothing's going on, you're at home, he's a little shit.
So for someone to sort of like,
Choose shit and fucking eat something. He needs like constant stimulation.
standard.
Yeah, he enjoyed the models as much as I did. Basically. He was loving it. And Josh took one photo of me, which I was like, I'm definitely putting that on my Hinge profile immediately. It was
Him with Stanley, like, looking all cute.
Stanley's like kind of snuggled up to me. I was like, yes, Stanley. He gets the vibes. He absolutely gets the
Ultimate
vibes.
wingman.
Oh, you can't do any better than that, can you? Really, you're a puppy, mate. Come on. So that's a cheat code. Good. So yeah, man, it's going to be a big month for you. I'm assuming this is going to come out around the time your album comes out. So
Oh, mad. Yeah, so I think 24th or something like that of June.
I feel like you got that wrong for some reason.
Or 25th of June.
It will no doubt, I'm sure, be the last Friday of the month.
Yeah, the Friday.
Yeah, it's the
25th.
Friday after like the 21st of June.
Yeah, Freedom Friday.
Freedom, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully.
I
Fingers
mean,
crossed.
let's keep it positive, man.
We didn't even plan it. Like, yeah, it should be pretty cool. We just like picked a date and then they were like, yeah, 21st of June is when everything's going to go back to normal. I was like, sick. That's the week of my album release.
Kind of perfect.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then obviously we've got the album launch a month later as well, which is going to be...
Yeah, that should be fun.
That's-
That's looking vibes.
That's going to pop off.
It's going to be madness.
We're all on it as well. This is quite nice because
Yeah.
we're all on that lineup as well. It's like the first time we can talk about an event all together. It's like, yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
sick.
we've actually, we got the politics aside.
Yeah.
There was mad
Oh, we're
politics.
getting straight with that.
It's one thing I can't moan about. So yeah, it's a success.
We're getting straight with the label politics shit. The less said about that, the better.
So, 338 for anyone interested.
Yeah, Studio
That's
338.
July
Yeah.
the 24th.
20. You see,
Rich knows.
Come on, bro.
Rich knows.
this.
I told you about my diary a second ago.
Oh, I thought you had your
Got it
pinky
on.
finger out there as well. Ultimate sophistication.
Flexing a Moretti with the pinky finger whilst telling you my calendar concisely.
Yeah, Rich was just doing that thing that everyone hates, where, you know, like when someone's got more bookings than you, then just list out every booking. Like, oh, yeah, I've got this booking, that booking. Basically, everyone wants me.
And then in reality, I did just tell you how many I had in July. And the purpose of that was because if they move the date a month
you're
back,
fucked.
I'm completely fucked. But yeah, you can play it how you want to, John. It's fine.
Yeah, ain't no rent getting paid that month.
No.
But yeah, man, debut album, it's a huge one.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, been working on it for like 3 years probably. Some of the tunes on there like older than 3 years. But I mean, I haven't been like constantly working on a tune every day of my life for 3 years. But like,
I mean, I feel like you kind of do though, man. I'm not gonna lie. I know you said you hadn't made music for a while recently, but like, there was a period where you were sending me like 3 to 4 tunes a week.
Yeah, and you just stopped replying to me. You're like, I can't keep up. Like, I'm just not listening to you anymore.
I actually don't have the time to listen to all these tunes. It was mad. Yeah, because I remember me and you had a conversation like a little while, like maybe like, I want to say like 18 months ago, where you felt like your album was done at that point as well.
Yeah, kind of. Well, like, I had it done. I've had it done for quite a while now because it was meant to be released in April. And I was just like, that was like the middle of the second lockdown. That was just like zero vibes. And I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, releasing an album in lockdowns, it's not the one.
Yours seemed to do quite well last year, though.
Yeah, because we make like soft music, you know what I mean? we make playlist music basically, so it's all good.
I think at that point as well, like you would have had to postpone it like a year.
More than a year.
It would have been like 18
Probably
months.
a little bit long to wait. Like.
And then at that point, we would have hated it and just scrapped it anyway. So yeah, it was a now or never moment. But yeah, man, interplanetary radio. I love what you've done with the promo as well, the whole like hotline thing. I mean, you get that. It's so
I see that, yeah. The artwork's sick as well.
Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, I worked on that with Josh Fry.
Yeah, you've always been big on the like visual aspect, haven't you, man?
I'm really picky about it. I don't know why. I just like most things I'm not that bothered about in terms of like promo and shit like that. But I don't know, just like the music and the artwork, like the visuals has to be like on point, and then all the other stuff I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'll just go with the flow.
Is yellow your favourite colour?
Yellow's just my branding, mate.
Yeah, but I just wondered if it was your favourite colour as well.
It is now, yeah.
It's got to be. It is off mic. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's the scripted PR response. Yeah,
definitely yellow.
Yeah, yellow, defo.
Yeah, no, it's sick. It's good.
I started actually buying clothes that are yellow just so I'm like on brand. I'm not even joking. Like, I bought an Arsenal shirt the other day because I was like, oh, it's yellow and black.
Fair,
so
that shirt is banging there as well.
Yeah, I do like that one as well.
Yeah, I was
shame about the team.
Yeah, exactly. But you bought the old school, the Bruce Banana one.
Yeah.
When we were good.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, that one was a flex as well, to be fair.
Yeah, so it's all good. But yeah,
Whole side the Tottenham crew listening.
I totally agree with what you said though. I think like when you create like a piece of music, like it's got a message and a story and all that. So yeah, the visuals have to represent that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's hugely important. I know you guys are.
Yeah, me and Harry like really, really, really care.
Yeah,
really. I know there's some people that are just like, oh yeah, like as long as it looks cool, kind of thing. But me and Harry like it. There's always like a tie-in and a link specifically to the artwork that we have it in mind almost when we start writing projects.
Yeah. No, I just think it's important. I'm trying to build up a brand as well, like aesthetic. So like you see something and it's like, that is an Unglued release. So you don't even need to have my logo on it or whatever. You can just tell by looking at it.
I think all the best labels, all the best like artists have that as well. It carries through. Like even, like you said, regardless of having a logo on there. So it's an important thing. It sort of mirrors with the music as well, right? You wouldn't be able to hear a tune without knowing what tune it is, but know who it's by. Yeah. Some of the time, not all the time, but yeah, a lot of the time.
If you go onto your Spotify and go discography, it looks like tight. Like it just does. It all like ties in. Like, yeah, it's a nice, consistent aesthetic. Yeah, I rate it.
I think the visual stuff is already getting there, like much like the audible stuff is. Like you hear an Unglued tune, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's very obviously an Unglued tune. It's hard to imitate.
He uses the same snare in every tune, doesn't he, mate? That's why. Same snare since day.
Wait, shots fired. It's a bit early for that.
Well, the thing is, I know he's got dirt on me, so I know it's coming. So I was like, let me just get that first jab in there early, before I get absolutely laid
before you
out.
get a sucker punch.
Mate, when the Sun and Bass chat starts, that's why I'm just leaving the room, bro.
Yeah. So next question, Sun and Bass.
That's not the next question.
To be fair, I've got a few to add to the Sun.
Yeah, I mean, I actually want to talk about music, guys, if that's all right.
Yeah, mostly.
So one of the big things that obviously I think all of the music kind of conveys is the whole like 90s jungles influence. Like, where did that come from? Talk to us about that one, because I think it's a big part of your story, right? Yeah, so like, all right, from the very, very beginning, first time I ever heard drum and bass, I went fishing with my dad and my uncle, and I used to go in his tent and be like, Dad, why does Anton's tent smell funny? Because he used to just hotbox his tent. So I used to just go in his tent and like it'd be fucking smoky. I was like, didn't have a clue what was going on. And he showed me like some drum and bass on like a mini disc player.
And I was like, geez, what the hell is this music? And then, yeah, just kind of got into it from there. I used to go around his house and like, he taught me how to mix on 1210s. And I kind of just like that developed my love for drum and bass and like jungle. And he kind of was like drip feeding me like hardcore and jungle tunes. And at the beginning I was like, nah, it's just shit, mate. I just like Pendulum. And then obviously like as you get older and your taste matures, like I kind of appreciated the things he was showing me a bit more. And yeah, I think that's kind of, I just listened to loads of old stuff, loads of new stuff. And I think like when you produce subconsciously, it's just all of your musical tastes kind of just get like squished together into whatever you end up making, because it's not like conscious decision, is it? It's just like all your little subconscious decisions making shit.
Mate, I remember, I was just going back a few years now, like when we played Room 3 for Solvent at
Gang.
Ministry of Sound.
Yeah.
And you brought Anton down. That was the first time I met him. Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah. That was
you guys were playing in the Room 3.
Like the little tiny box room. Yeah.
That was like before like I hadn't even really made drum and bass.
Nah, this is like probably just out of uni. We'd just probably done our first release on Solvent. Yeah. And yeah, we had was it a hospital event that was there maybe?
It was a Dolby Atmos thing.
Yeah, that was it.
It was hospital, we were in room 1 and Fabio room 2.
That was it.
Hugh was there. Yeah, I remember Hugh playing as well.
Oh, we were all so young then. Yeah. That was fun then.
Some of you were young then.
Good night.
I was probably still old.
Yeah, I know. You were definitely still in your 30s. Anton's a G, man. I remember met him there. He seems like a proper sound guy,
Yeah, he's really nice. He's proper chilled. I owe him a lot, like how all the stuff that he taught me.
You're a like a byproduct of that is you're a bit of a vinyl guy, right?
Yeah, but I just I only bought CDJs like not that long ago, just like XDJs. And I don't even mix them on. My girlfriend mixes on them. I don't even use them.
You use vinyl?
Yeah, I just don't.
Sick.
I don't mix at home that much, like at all. I just don't. I'm not practice. I don't know. I've practiced shitloads over the years. It's like riding a bike, innit? Like if you can mix vinyl, like I can fucking mix on the whole bag K on fucking CDJ.
Real talk. Like, there's a reason why I've started DJing again on CDJs.
I mean, Dex can DJ for fuck's sake.
Yeah, to be fair, that's actually a massive indicator of how easy it is, isn't it?
Just generally, I think just people just pick it up so quickly these days, isn't it? You have to have a lot more dedication back in the day, which we've spoken about before.
I think when the world's open and normal, like when you're on the circuit, you're kind of playing like every week and every other weekend, you definitely don't need to like mix.
Oh mate, I am so glad that we don't have to fucking mix on vinyl all around the world. Like fuck that. Imagine being like, let's go to Austria with a fucking 20 kg kilo.
Mate, I've been talking about doing a vinyl set for fucking years. I've been itching to do it. I've been so keen, but then when push comes to shove, it's like, where the fuck am I willing to take a bag of records?
Yeah, it's all right in like I did a vinyl
show in London.
No, but then like there's only. But do you see? I pussy out. I make excuses because I don't want to lug it nowhere, bruv.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. That's why I just threw one at you. That was like
it's the pressure. It's also the pressure. Like
it's massive pressure.
I've never mixed in a club on vinyl, but that was just what I knew back in the day. But like yourself, I've not had. I don't mix at home.
Yeah,
because
I learned to mix. Like I earned the ropes with RK Bass is like a record shop in London, and Leanne, the woman that owns it, got me like my first ever bookings, which is like playing Room 2 in like Arch. Is it Arch now? Yeah, Arch. It used to be Digital
in Brighton. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, there was like Room 2 in there. They do like a little vinyl room, and that was where like my first ever club.
Sam Simply Vinyl used to do that one, or not?
I don't know. It was just RK Bass. It was like the Room, Room 2, and so I like learned to mix in a club on vinyl, and then when it came to CDJs, I was like, shit, man, this is a lot easier, isn't
it?
Nothing jumping. Literally.
Yeah. I think that's interesting because like when we have like older guests on, like a lot of them will talk about it the same way you do, but it's funny because you're so young, and it's like I think like most DJs from our generation below don't have that like sort of grounding. I would say. Anyway,
how old are you, Josh?
27.
Yeah, it's
maybe just on the edge of it, but you get my point. Most
I do agree with you. Yeah. It's an interesting one, but like I rate that, and there are other people that have gone back. You know, even like Benny L's a good example. I remember like interviewing him on Rinse, and he was very like well educated in the realms of like jungle, like more so than me, and he's pretty young as well, and it probably similar age to yourself, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I went around his studio. He's got like 6 set up.
Yeah,
loads of records. Like
and it's like
he knows his shit.
Yeah, I think if you've got a like a genuine interest in it and you're willing to do the research, it doesn't, it's kind of naturally evolved, doesn't it? Like you said, it was just something that just happened for you, really.
Well, like nowadays, if anyone wants to learn about like the history of jungle, like just go on Discogs. Just fucking, do you know what I mean? Like the internet's mad nowadays. You can just learn everything if you want to.
Fast forwarding, so obviously you had that jungle sort of upbringing, and then you became a house producer.
Yeah, then we were
like Josh Brown sounds. Yeah, come on. I remember them good old days.
I went to uni with
what was the label called? This ain't Bristol, wasn't it?
Bristol,
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to uni. That's how I actually met GLXY.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Tom used to play loads of like little shit clubs in Leicester. Like on the top floor when like 4 people would walk up there and be like, the fuck is this? Right, let's get it back downstairs.
And, what was that club called? XY, wasn't it? Yeah. One with like 4 floors. I remember me and Tom used to do a night there. Yeah, it was, I think you probably did the year after I left, and that me and Tom used to play a night there. And it was like, 4 floors, like mainstream, like the hip hop room. And then like they'd have like, the top floor was kind of like just everything else. And it was like the guy that promoted said, just, play some house, play some drum and bass, some garage, whatever. And like, I remember the first 2 weeks, it was absolutely popping off because it was a brand new club. Everyone was there. And then pretty soon after that, it was like you said, like someone accidentally walked up there. It was just
and it just basic bitches, basic bitches in tiny skirts and stilettos coming up like, oh God, what's this?
Classic uni vibes. Yeah. Well, commercial club uni vibes anyway.
Yeah. So what was the kind of like, what was the switch, man? Because you were just talking about, being such a jungle head, and then you suddenly started making. I mean, to be fair, your house music was.
Well, it was just that I couldn't make drum and bass because it's quite hard to make drum and bass, and I was still learning how to produce. So like, I could make D&B up to like a very, very bad standard, but I could make house like an okay standard because it's easier to make house. Sorry, all house producers, but it actually is.
I mean, our one house listener is screwing.
To be fair, a lot, and well, I saw someone tweet the other day, man, like it was like a house producer was like, it's funny because like every time a drum and bass producer like changes genre, they'll just make it better than everyone in that same genre. I do think there's a technical level of drum and bass above a lot of other genres. I'm not going to say every genre, but like there's definitely like a standing.
I think there's an intricacy to the music and the genre as a whole.
Yeah.
That it drives and strives, makes people strive to kind of want to implement the same kind of intricacy and detail in other music genres when they make it.
Yeah, and it's very innovative. I think like house can get very repetitive, and people just try and sound like the same as every other house tune. Whereas like I think drum and bass constantly is like striving to innovate and do something new. Like people always want to hear the freshest shit, like the newest sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree. I don't think it's there's a lot of people that try and argue that that's an unfair statement to make, but I don't think it is. I think there's genuine reasons why that makes sense.
Nah, listen, I love other genres, but but just from a technical perspective, I do believe that like making drum and bass sets you up pretty well to make most other electronic drummers, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
What's your tropical house alias again?
Listen, University of Leicester was an interesting time for all of us. We're all experimenting. Like me and Tom.
Oh wait, this wasn't a joke. This was
middleman.
Middleman. I was making awful music. I mean, that's like me and Tom met. Like I said, that's how me, Tom, and Josh met. But like,
that's how we met. And that segue back into that. Yeah. And that's how everything like got started. We just worked our way up through the terrible clubs in Leicester into the slightly less terrible clubs in Leicester, into like the O2 Academy. We were doing like the big student nights, and then we got onto like the main stage, and then we just kind of all stayed in contact.
What was the promoter? B-Swang, wasn't it? Nico.
B-Swang.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, shout out to Nico though, because like that was the one person on the one promoter that was doing. Have you not heard of them?
I've played a couple times in Leicester, and they were like student union gigs, I think.
Yeah.
One time I turned up. No disrespect to whoever it was promoting the show, but it was fucking hilarious when I think I was doing it with Stone from Guest, obviously Guerra and Stone. And I'm pretty sure it was him. And it was like the monitors were like 2 5-inch KRKs.
Mate, that is a classic.
That sounds like Leicester, bro. That sounds like
classic.
Oh man! And I just remember like even I was pissed off. I had like a normal monitor. I think it was like fucking hell. The tables have turned, but Yeah, that's a madness, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean,
Beastwang were sick though. They were the
I doubt
only
it was
good
them.
night in Leicester. Like the only good underground apart from overground sessions, which started up a bit later on.
oh yeah, shout out Ollie and
Shout
that.
out Ollie.
Yeah, come on. Overground sessions, I forgot about that.
Guy that
Yeah.
never put me on a flyer because for some reason he hated me.
but you've been playing the night.
Yeah.
I play the night, he just never put me on the flyer.
What?
Now look at
Liberty.
me. Now look at me.
What was his name? Shout him out.
Ollie. I think
Hold
his
tight,
name was
Ollie.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
That is jokes. Mate, those were good times though, man. But yeah, that Beastwang was like, they've continued to grow, man. They're putting on like a show of Andy C in that I saw like at some point in the summer.
Yeah, they
Leicester.
booked me not that long ago in Leicester, and I was like, fucking hell, man. Like, they've come a long way. Like,
Yeah,
it was a big cap, and I was like, wow, you guys are killing it.
I feel like you need a reunion show.
Mate,
Like,
to be honest,
you two.
we could definitely-
DBE as well.
Yeah, DB. Have you played DB?
I haven't played DB.
Mate, we played DB the summer before. Obviously, it all got locked off, and it was actually mad. Like going back, it was like Marty Ling were playing, and like One Man, I think, and we were.
If
playing.
you've never felt like a beta male, just go to Loughborough Uni.
Jesus.
It's like a sports university. Like they only do sports,
Yeah,
and you just go in. You're like, oh, I'm so inferior to everybody here.
It's like
I fit right in
Everyone's
with the
like
beta
6'5"
male vibe,
and
mate.
fucking juiced to the gills.
yeah. It's a mad uni. But yeah, they used to run this like called DB. You might have heard of DB, probably. I don't know. It's quite a big promotion. And like, yeah, they book like really big lineups for like for Loughborough Uni. And we used to go. So we used to get like we were part of a DJ society, weren't we?
Yeah. Leicester Bass Society.
That's the Bass Society.
You two are so cool,
The
man.
bass.
If I didn't know it before, like honestly, this has just reaffirmed how cool you two really are.
Bro, it was the thing is though, like we said, because there was no scene in Leicester yet, it was actually quite nice to get like some like-minded people together.
Yeah, you had to make your own scene because there wasn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the piss, man. Who gives a fuck? Like at the end of the day, if you're interested in music and you meet like-minded people, like it's obviously a positive thing.
When I started at Leicester, John first, like pretty like well-known scratch DJ, he was the head of the DJ site when I started.
You still speak to him?
Yeah, he's good. He's a good friend, man. Like, yeah, he was at Leicester as well. Like a couple of years before you would have started. Like, yeah, that's weird. Like how many like people have come through that uni who are like associated to music in some way or another with a city that just didn't rep like underground music at all.
Yeah, there was no scene there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you remember you saying last episode that he was the guy that taught you how to DJ.
Yeah,
I might have got that wrong, but
nah, he definitely leveled me up as a DJ for sure. Yeah, sick guy. So yeah, Leicester came and went. You were doing physics, right?
Yeah, I did astrophysics.
look at you two, fucking scientist crew over
Right,
here.
we're the fuck.
Scientist crew.
Innit? You should be making drugs on the sly and shotting them in rage. Chemist and physicist.
Me, Josh,
That side eye from John there, like,
Nah, me,
don't
Josh,
bait me up, don't bait me up.
I reckon, yeah, that was a university challenge for D&B, yeah. Put me, Josh, and Tom on the team, bruv. You got chemist, astrophysicist, and a biochemist.
Yeah, so we know science questions, not history
nothing
question
else.
comes up. We don't know anything else.
We just come through for the science round and just smash it.
A perfect representation of the roots of drum and bass right there.
Yeah, bro, what absolutely
Making
murder.
D&B is a science though. Like,
Exactly.
you got to be a nerd to want to sit in front of a fucking computer and like twiddle fucking, oh yes, this snare needs 307 hertz.
Yeah, I think even in like back in the day, that was, you know, a factor, wasn't it? Really, even if you look at a lot of the old school producers,
I don't know,
they all had a
I feel
slight nerdy element to them. Some raw heads, obviously, it was just like fuck it.
Yeah.
I was going to make some bullshit, you know, big sounding hardware, you know, esque music. But there's still loads of geeky people like Ed Rush and Optical. Like, there's definitely some geeky shit going on there, weren't there? Like with what they came out with, it's mental.
Yeah, I
Levels.
think from a producer perspective, a DJ perspective, I think they're a lot cooler. Fabio, come on, bruv. Fabio in the 90s, bro, with his dreadlocks and that. Come on, you couldn't get cooler than that. Do you know what I mean? Goldie, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It was just. I think my point was just obviously I was playing that sort of devil's advocate card of the fact that it used to be a lot more like urban and cool, as you so rightfully said. But I don't actually, you know, I'm just taking the piss because I don't generally think that's the case. I think everything evolves like naturally in one way or the other, and you know, where some people might look at that as a negative, at the same time there's loads of positives that have come from it. As long as we maintain a level of multiculture, I think that's the only thing that kind of pisses me off a bit more now. I would like to see a bit more multiculture, but I think there's a lot of people are drawn in towards grime these days because grime didn't really exist back in the old school drum and bass days, did it really? Not. It was garage and drum. And I think a lot of people did head down the grime route, maybe. A lot of people from like, you know, urban origin, effectively.
So this is Rich's first speech of the podcast. There'll be many more Rich monologues. That's what I was looking
You
for.
wait till we get back on the dinosaur
Chapter
chat,
6.
mate. I'm having your Stegosaurus up, mate. Man's got the facts.
Bruv, I've re-listened to that episode multiple times now, and the two of you are so delusional.
Mate,
Firstly, firstly, right? I want to firstly say, John, you're a fucking penis. I've looked this up, yeah? Firstly, right, a Diplodocus would fuck all of them dinosaurs up. All of them, all right?
What?
So you are wrong.
No, it was a Brontosaurus, bro.
Brontosaurus, that was it. I'm sorry, I got my name wrong there.
So I did actually go away and do this, right? So a Brontosaurus is 3 times the weight of a Stegosaurus getting
huge.
fucked up, and it's almost 3 times the length, and it's also nicknamed Thunder Lizard.
And
So,
also, can I
what
also
was
just
the-
point out
What was the dinosaur that was all spiky and it was short and
Stegosaurus.
spiky and it's got a big ball on its tail?
Oh no, what's that?
And
Yeah.
it's spiky and shit.
So I was going to ask.
it's like a glorified turtle.
Before we go to mad rant, I do want to know, Josh, what is your favorite dinosaur and which dinosaur would win in a fight?
I mean, I've never really sat down and thought.
No, you
what
will.
is
Now
my
you- now
favourite
you-
You just said,
now
you
you
said it
are.
well with the ball on it. It's
I
fucking-
don't know the names, bro. I'm gonna say my favorite dinosaur is probably the one that survived and spawned all of the birds,
All the
because
birds.
birds all came from dinosaurs and
So some
reptiles
sort of
all came from
pterodactyl.
dinosaurs.
Some sort of
Pterodactyls
pterodactyl.
died. There's only 3 things in history that have ever had powered flight: insect, birds, and pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Pterodactyls died.
that is
Okay.
mad.
So, but something that evolved from that effectively.
Why
then.
not?
Yeah, because
why
all
not a
birds
crocodile?
came from dinosaurs. And also, most
Crocodiles
dinosaurs actually
survived.
had feathers, not scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wants something that
Mad.
flies.
That's true, yeah.
Crocodiles
Flying
don't.
specific,
Crocodiles don't.
Yeah,
I
fly.
that-
thought it was just
spiky
more
one.
about the survival side of things. Like crocodiles fucking are dinosaurs and survived.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Extinction
and
and still exists.
Komodo dragons, well, they're all dinosaurs, really.
No,
aren't they?
Komodo dragons, that's like a like long term, big scale things like here. I think that's a recent thing in evolutionary history.
Mad.
They came post dinosaur.
I didn't answer mine last time, and mine's an Allosaurus.
Oh,
Just in case
no, that's
anyone
cheating,
cares.
bruv, because you had time to do research. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
fair.
No, but I couldn't think of what it was, and then I did go away and do it. And
Yeah.
facts. Stegosaurus getting fucked up by a Brontosaurus.
Just before we jump off, right? And again, the Stegosaurus. I got another thing. You're
Is
talking
this
about
actually making a cut?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Right,
100%. Stegosaurus. You
I
were
didn't
trying to
realise you
claim.
had such an avid dinosaur fucking fan
We
base.
do now.
Listen
We
to
do now.
me.
Yeah.
We didn't
My
know.
man just kept saying the word Stegosauruses can ramp. They can ramp, though, innit?
But
It's like,
Next
you were saying
time,
that
next time you
Stegosaurus-
host, you need to have some dinosaur bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we can come with that.
Dino
We
bars.
can. Dino bars.
But you were saying that Stegosaurus has spikes on its back. It's not. They're like plates. And
That is true. Spikes on the
it
end
was
of
like
its tail.
the same way that camels have humps. It was the same for like, I believe, it was like to retain moisture and
Listen,
nutrition.
It looks like weaponry to me, so it's weaponry. In it,
No,
you know what I mean?
it's
Like,
not.
but I agree. The one
It's
that,
a flap.
The
That's
one,
all
that,
it is.
the
It's a
one that
flap.
Josh was talking about, though, with the actual like spiked tail.
Yeah,
that
it's
could
got like
swing.
a
that
ball
one.
with
Yeah,
spikes.
yeah. Cold.
And it's like
It's
hard
tiny,
shelled,
though.
and it's like they're like short and stumpy, innit?
They're tiny,
it's
though.
like a
That's the
turtle
thing,
with a
innit?
fucking ball with a chain.
I'm not. I'm
With a
not
mace on his back.
Yeah.
I want to make one thing clear. I'm not denying the rampability because there is clearly some rampability there.
Rampability.
However, like when it just comes to
Brontosaur,
sure
yeah.
weight,
Yeah.
it's just like if it wants to fuck it up, it can.
Yeah, Brontosaurus will just step on your thing, bruv. Squish.
The funny thing, the
Squish.
beautiful thing about this is we'll never know. So
Yeah, that's what you said last
No,
time.
I don't know,
innit?
man. If we
We'll
duct
never know.
tape,
Nah, I'm gonna call it here, man. Like, just you ain't right, you ain't wrong.
They have got some dinosaur DNA though, don't they? So like you could technically,
Is that the plot?
Create
to Jurassic
clone.
Jurassic
Park?
Park it up.
yeah, like you technically could, but you'd create like a clone of a dinosaur that, because obviously they died, and you've got the DNA of them just as they died, so they were sort of obviously something wrong with them.
Weak bitches.
So yeah, so you would have like you're gonna create a clone with the DNA of something that was about to die.
yeah,
so
it wasn't
it's
meant
not
to
gonna be
survive in
very
this
good.
world. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it could
yeah.
be born straight away and probably just die instantly anyway.
And also it would be old because like if you take the DNA of you
Yeah.
and put it into a baby, it would be born as a baby, but its DNA is already like 30 years
So
old.
to be a bad boy DJ straight away.
Yeah,
Sick.
and a prick.
He's got your number.
Got him. All right, so university, man.
That's enough dinosaur
So now,
chat.
the one thing I did
this
actually
episode.
want to ask on that one, because I thought about this myself the other day. Like, so let's say your second year at Leicester, 2013 or whatever it was. Did you imagine at that point, yeah, your job would be spinning records to a bunch of 19-year-old cat zombies?
No, because that's totally mental. But to be honest, I didn't really think about my future too much about when I was in second year of uni. I was kind of just cracking on. I just take every day as it comes. I don't really plan that much ever. Like, I'm just like, yep, cool. So what am I doing tomorrow? That's about as far ahead as I think.
Yeah. I know you bought a house, so I don't know how true that is.
Well, yeah, that was just saving money though, innit? That's just being stingy as fuck.
Your agent must love you off the back of that as well. What am I doing tomorrow? You got a fucking gig, Josh.
You're meant to be in fucking New Zealand.
Checked in for your flight, you fucking idiot.
But no, I didn't ever think that I was going to be like, it was going to, anything was going to happen. Like, music was just what I did because I enjoyed it. I just liked making tunes because it was fun, and I liked DJing, but it was never like to a lot of people. It was always just,
and was there like
a hobby?
Was there like at any point was there like a conversation with your mum and dad? Like, by the way, I know I did a whole degree in physics and I'm a teacher in that, but I'm actually going to go be a DJ.
No, I just kind of like, I think they were always like, so when are you going to get a real job?
Yeah, that's
like,
it, man.
The whole real job thing.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think that at first maybe they were a bit disappointed because they didn't really understand, like, I don't know, it's hard for the generation above us to kind of contemplate, because all they've ever known is 9 to 5. If you're not doing that, it's not a real job and you're not earning any money. So like, whereas nowadays, like you can make so much money doing other things. Like you can hustle and do basically whatever. I mean, people fucking sell videos of them farting on the internet and make money nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's true.
You can fucking sell anything. People buy anything.
They're called jump up DJs, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Cancellation. Wow. Cancellation.
Oh,
you just lost yourself a few fucking...
My following count's going down.
That was John Campbell from Galaxy.
Address is...
You're just looking for the foghorn question segue there.
Yeah, I'm just being a good podcaster, you know what I mean? Like, just asking the big questions.
I think I agree with what you said to a certain extent, because obviously the modern day is like a madness with YouTube and stuff like that. But I think as well as that, maybe what you're getting at is, you know, creativity. You saw musicians as like rock artists and stuff like back in the day that would like, you know, make a living and do really well out of it. Art's always been a thing. But I think as civilization has progressed, more and more people have moved into the creative fields, and there has been a sort of like influx of more and more like, you know, creative outlets, or, you know, just anything creative basically. And I think that is maybe what, I don't know, maybe the older generation do struggle to. I was quite lucky. Like my old man, like he was just banging to music and he's just supported me the whole way through. He fucking loves it. Like I send him music, like he's just fully involved. But I can see what you mean, man. So it can be quite difficult at times, isn't it? But like you said, if it's something you love, you just crack on and do it, really, don't you?
Yeah,
and
I think he got it. Like, he was just worried that, like, my dad and my mum was just worried that, like, I wasn't making the right decision for me long term. Do you know what I mean?
Which is fair enough.
Because they want you to be stable and they want you to be secure and all that kind of shit. But I think when they realised, like, I was actually really enjoying what I was doing and I was making money, they were like, oh shit, okay, yeah, I think it's all right.
There's definitely like a weird generational thing where, like, our parents, for example, if they walked into somebody's bedroom and they had like a full kind of computer set up in the corner on like this desk and whatever, they're probably just sitting around playing games all the time. Whereas if we walk into a friend's bedroom and they've got like a whole, you just naturally assume that that's where like their home office space, where they run their fucking whatever company or their record label, or they make their tunes, or they stream from. Like, yeah, because we're aware of all the many different ways that a single computer in the corner of a room can earn you money now.
Yeah,
I think everyone's opened their eyes to that though in the last like 2 years with COVID. Like, I think so many people's eyes have been open to like the internet and like how much more opportunities there are. Like, for example, there was like some comedian, some old as fuck comedian, he was on the news or fucking some sort of shitty chat show, and he was like 60 and he was like, yeah, I've just launched my Twitch channel, and I was like, bro, you're like fucking 60 and you've got Twitch, like what the fuck.
It's mad though. I think, like lockdown has pushed a lot of, like my dad, for example, barely could like use the fucking microwave prior to lockdown. But like now he can turn on the smart TV, open up YouTube, and he can like subscribe to channels and that sort of like he watches YouTube content on a daily basis now. He can get that up on his phone. He can find order things on the internet. He never used to do that because he was reliant on me and my brothers to do it for him. Now we're all gone. Like he ain't, he's sat at home and no one to ask.
It's also opened my eyes as well to how like, I think it's quite important to be making content outside. Like, I don't know, I used to just make music and just be proper like fucking fundamentalist. Like, I just make music and I just play gigs and that's all I do. I don't do any of this other bullshit.
Yeah.
Which was really cool when you could do gigs. But now I've kind of realised like you need to make some sort of other content. Like music is good, but like we're in like the age of someone just going like, oh, here's a song that you spent 300 fucking hours mixing down. Oh yeah, I just scrolled straight past it. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't interesting enough.
Yeah.
So
on that note, how is your TikTok profile going?
I don't have it. Actually, I do have a TikTok. The hospital made me make a TikTok, and they were asking me to log into it the other day. I was like, I can't find the password, and then they were like, "Oh, do the password recovery." I was like, "Nah, I don't have the app installed on my phone." And then they were like, "Yeah, you need to post this." I was like, "I'm not downloading TikTok onto my phone."
Yeah, my brother's like he's like a streamer. Like he's always been mad into computer games. Yeah, like was sick. He's had a couple of kids, and then he's finally decided I'm going to set up a channel and start streaming. And every time I see him at the moment, he's like, "Have you got a fucking TikTok yet?" And he just keeps having a go at me for not having a TikTok. He's like, "You're missing an opportunity."
No, you really are.
Right.
Yeah, no, which I agree with, but
you can't
I just
deny the numbers, man. It's
you really
can't.
nuts.
That's why I think it's an interesting thing to talk about. So like, you have got a TikTok, but you're not actively
using it. I don't use it
actively.
No, mate, I'm fucking terrible at using social media.
Okay, yeah.
I'm horrendously bad. Like it takes all of my conscious energy to do like one Instagram post a month. So like to try and get me to do TikTok, it's just not going to happen.
But what I would suggest is honestly, it's worth downloading, just using it on like an interactive side, not posting. I mean, Harry don't post stuff
but the
to
thing
it,
is,
just use it to
for
connect
me,
with
I
people.
just
we've got it.
I just don't like spending so much time like I don't know. I like living in the real world and I like being in nature and I like fucking like having headspace and like not looking at my phone screen. Like it already sucks me in enough. Like I don't want to have something else that's addictive that's wanting me to.
That's fair enough.
So this is part of the reason why I actually don't have TikTok, because it's like I know I spent too much time on Instagram already.
Yes,
like, I do need it at some point, especially because we're working from home at the moment and stuff, you know, so like, I'm sat in my room or the living room on the computer, emailing, Zoom, and then suddenly, I've got to make music. I'm just doing the same thing again in the evening or smashing Warzone, whatever it is I'm doing, there's a screen involved. So it's like just adding another layer of that to my life. It just feels like
like they're all designed to be addictive.
Oh yeah.
So like they all like trigger dopamine. They all want you to come in.
It's called the slot machine theory, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I watched a mad Netflix documentary and I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's like, so obviously TikTok has just been designed and it's the most successfully addictive app.
Yeah.
That's why it's so popular.
It was The Social Dilemma, was the documentary you were talking about.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing we don't need in our lives, it's more dopamine. I think everybody's had enough dopamine at this point. Like,
to be fair,
very short-term reward with it takes ages to replenish. So you get a short-term shit high. It's like
terrible cocaine.
It's literally it's pub grub for the general public.
So I mean, I only ever use TikTok when I'm outside having a cigarette or a joint. I mean, that's literally it.
But already that though, you've already got learned behaviour there, mate.
No, but absolutely. But then,
it's time to go on TikTok.
But I'll never sit down on the sofa or sit in the studio and open TikTok.
We'll revisit this in a few months.
If you don't smoke, that's why I then kind of go, I understand why you don't want to get it, because if you get it when you just sat on the sofa, now every time you're sat on the sofa, you will get it out.
No, but Jack, what you remember is when you're sitting on the sofa or sat in the studio looking at another screen. So it's like the one time you have no screen time, I having a cigarette.
Oh, right, yeah. No, sorry, I'm not talking about specifically the screen time. I'm just talking about the TikTok being so addictive.
You sounded like somebody who was transitioning from cigarettes to a vape. I mean, like, you know, I try not to use my vape inside. Speak to him in 6 months. He's like, so I take my vape every 3 seconds.
But yeah, it's an interesting one, man, with the whole TikTok's a mad one, yeah, because I've seen some DJs actually use, like, who's the guy? Mozzie, is it?
Yep, Mosey
or Muzzy?
No, not Muzzy.
No,
Mosey.
Mozey.
He is smashing it on TikTok, right? Yeah. Like absolutely. Like
So's a little sound in it from what I hear.
Mike
Like,
Kiss,
there's loads of
Serum,
people.
like Serum's got really interesting content. He just shares a lot of like his own dubs. He puts up little like him messing around in the studio, playing some records he just dug out. Like I think it's just like story stuff, isn't it? It's just like Instagram
Jack,
stories.
are you working for TikTok?
Absolutely.
Be honest.
yeah.
I'm not at liberty to say.
What do you think though? Because it's like you can spend all this time and effort and everything building up these big like social profiles and all that kind of shit. Yeah, but like, is that actually more important
No,
nowadays?
absolutely not.
But,
No.
because
Well,
like in my
depends how-
opinion,
yeah, go on.
if you put good music out, if you like just fucking get your head down, make good content, make good music, and release it, you will get noticed for releasing good shit, regardless of if you've got fucking 100 followers or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you put a banging tune out, people are going to be like, shit, the tune's really good.
Yeah, so I totally agree, and that's kind of the ethos that we try to take ourselves. But you can't deny there is a route to having a successful career by doing the other shit.
Of course not.
Like, there's no argument. For me, you can be successful, and it obviously success is determined differently by different people. There's different metrics across it. Like, it very much feels like you're more like, no, long term, I want to write a body of music that is remembered, and like in 20 years time I can play a tune from Unglued and it's like, this is still good, versus trend hopping and like doing all the content,
building up a lot of followers, getting a lot of bookings because you've got loads of followers.
Because I agree, like, this longevity game is obviously what it comes down to for I think for both of us, right, or for all of us, I'd say. But at the same time, I've seen people go from relative obscurity to massive by riding the social media wave, and it's like, can I criticize them? I don't know if I can.
I don't think
you
it's
can't
about
criticize them because they're just hustling. They're just doing that. Like, and fair play to them, because I don't have the effort or like the motivation to do that, because it's a lot of effort, mate. Pumping fucking posts out every day and all that shit, man.
Also,
it's
like,
a grind.
I just don't think people are that interesting to be like posting stuff every day. Like, if I posted something every day on the Galaxy Instagram or my own Instagram, it would just be like, oh yeah, I'm in my flat. Like, I'm watching The Office US for the 17th time.
How much content can you create?
What I mean? Like, how much can you create? Like, I don't know.
I think you're interesting enough to like get a reasonable post or story out a day if you really put your mind to it. The fact of the matter is, the amount of effort it takes for you to literally flick through your photos, be like, I've got to post like a gig photo or find something, which effectively probably the angle you're coming from, which is what I struggle with. I'm just like, I haven't posted something for a week, and I'm like, I know I need to, but do I need to?
No. The problem as well, Instagram rewards people that post regularly, right? The algorithm basically designed to like keep you, like, it's called like retention something, and I can't remember the name of what the word is. But anyway, like, if you constantly post, they'll basically expose your content to more of your audience or whatever. So it's like,
Instagram's got no interest in us promoting our music.
So
it just wants us posting and people using their app.
So I was going to say, the problem is, I just did a post about our new merch range, which is out on Friday. And like, so I posted it, and I've noticed, because we've not posted on Instagram for like, I think 2 weeks or whatever, like, or 3 weeks or whatever. I've noticed that the engagement for that post is like lower than it should normally be, because it hasn't rewarded us for, like, if we had posted every day. Yeah, which is why you had the whole social media campaign thing before release. Like, it's the whole thing's nuts, man.
It is mental.
But then I swear it don't work like that though. Like, I just don't post anything ever unless I've got something interesting to post about. Like, if I'm just like, I'm going to fucking post a picture of me in my studio, like, or like, I'm going to post a gig lineup. Like, no one cares.
Yeah.
The gig
lineup, if your album launch, you should probably post that. It is your album launch.
No, but also gig lineups, like, there are people that want to see you play.
Oh, yes, I would say,
I'm not saying that. I just mean like if you, I think like little and often, like if you just put up really sick, really interesting content little and often, is that not better than just spamming people with shit all the time?
I agree, I'm of that mindset.
Do you know what? I think personally, what we come to the conclusion with here is really, you should play your social media however the fuck you want to play your social media. And the fact of the matter is, if you want to play yours like that, that probably works for you. And the way that, everyone else does theirs works for them. Like what Jon said, it's like, people can shoot to this fame very quickly through that, and that works for them. But personally, I sit here as somebody who, it's fucking taken me ages to get where I am, and I'm still not where I want to be. And like, I've been about for a long time. People go past me all the time, but I'm still aware that I've built a relatively good foundation, and I'm proud of the foundation that I've built. I might not be, doing it full time or making the P I want to make, or, doing tunes with everyone that I want to be doing tunes with, or, necessarily, be 100% happy with where I'm at in my journey currently. but then that keeps me kind of hungry for it at the same time. And one day I know it will hopefully pay dividends because you couldn't get rid of me.
Mate, put it this way, yeah. Put it this way. Ricky Gervais wrote The Office when he was 40.
Yeah.
That is mental, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
Think about that. Like, there is no substitution for just like graft and that grind and really honing your craft. Of course,
Writing The Office is slightly, it's a bit more of a benchmark than me just trying to write one banger though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, bro, you already wrote one banger and it sold over 1 million streams. And it was on with me and on his label. So, be grateful for what you got, bro.
I think that was actually kind of my initial point, really, was that I am grateful for what I've got. And the whole point is, different things work for different people. And, we're in an age where, social media it can give you that level up if you're willing to put the work into it. But it doesn't take anything away from, I think, talking from the perspective that you were, do you not almost have more respect for the people that don't do that and that you like probably see on a similar level to yourself where like, oh, I just like their music and I'm paying attention to what they do because of their music, not because of their Insta game, innit, really?
That's kind of what I think I respect the most. Like people that you still pay attention to them, not because they're like throwing shit in your face all the time, just because when they put stuff out, you're like, oh, okay, that's actually really interesting. And like that kind of like makes me more hooked than people that are constantly like spamming shit all the time. Whereas like, it's like the same thing as like, if you put a fucking tune out every week, eventually people are going to be like, oh, I'm bored of Unglued tunes. Like he's put what, like 50 tunes out this year. Whereas if you put like 2 sick releases out a year, people are hungry for it. People want to listen
quality
to
over
more.
quantity, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. I think with the social media stuff, if the way it works for you is posting higher quality, more interesting content, stuff that like me and Harry literally had this conversation a couple of days ago where we were like, we just kind of need to like put a little bit more personality into what we are talking about on social media, because otherwise you're just posting the same kind of stuff and nobody cares anymore. Like people get bored. Do we find it interesting? No, so let's switch it up.
It's weird. And the thing is, even the fact that we have to have like the thing that kind of makes me sad is like
the fact you even have those conversations. Yeah, I mean, for me and Harry, it's because it's 2 people using one account, so we do talk about it.
Same with me and Tom. Like, I really like when, like you said, like when I do Instagram posts for Galaxy, it's like I really think about it and I really like put effort into like thinking about what I'm posting. It's like it shouldn't really be that way, but I guess again, it's another output from you as an artist in a way.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
ensuring
like,
quality.
You kind of have to do it. Yeah. And like I think you were making the point earlier, like ultimately you just want to write music and like whatever, like they play gigs or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's just how the game is now, isn't it? It's just how the game is.
But give it 10 years, people might not care about social media anymore.
Mate, that'd be amazing.
And people might
because it'll all be wired into
everyone listens to
It'll just be
again.
straight into their
because of the
fucking
COVID
neural
vaccine.
implant.
Because of the COVID vaccine, we're all going to be in the Bill Gates system anyway. Mate.
Yeah, exactly. We'll all be in the fucking 6G wireframe environment.
The Matrix and that. You know what I mean?
What else should we talk about?
Well, the next thing we have to talk about is the infamous bootleg, because that was kind of the start of that kind of kickstarted the Unglued era.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I mean, I like to feel like I'm a part of this story. I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah.
It's a big.
You're the culprit.
First person to ever play
it out. Yeah, that was mad. So that was
claim
what?
to
That was Egg, 2017, I think.
You got shouted out a lot for that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got in loads of trouble.
We can talk about that as well if we want.
Yeah, come on then. I want to hear about this.
You don't know about this.
I'll probably
You
do,
definitely
but
know
you
about
probably tell me when we're lick up in our front room a while back. So yeah.
Well, so this bootleg, just to clarify, did you make this before you had signed to Hospital, or was it after you had signed?
No, it was after I signed. So I signed to Hospital, and I like the name Unglued didn't even exist. Like I barely even made drum bass. Like they just liked what I was doing, and they were
it's because Dan mastered your house tunes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dan mastered one of my house tunes. I just sent him some tunes for him to master, and he was like, "Yo, these are really sick. Do you make any other stuff?" So I just sent him a few bits, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, this sounds quite cool." Like stayed in contact with him a bit, and then obviously at that point, like lit a fire in my belly because I was like, "Shit, Hospital Records are fucking interested in me. What the fuck is going on?" So I was like, "Right, here we go." So I just got my head down, and just fucking grind making tunes for ages. Because I was always like, I can't make drum and bass. I suck at making drum and bass. And then I was like, oh, they actually, like Hospital Records actually like what I was doing. So obviously it can't suck that much. So I just like proper grinded on it. And then, yeah, eventually they were like, yeah, cool, we like all this stuff that you're making. We do want to sign you. So I signed to them. I did like a few gigs, like first on the lineup, like when the doors open for like a few gigs. I released that Bootstrap Bill tune.
Yeah. Big tune. Yeah.
And then I went traveling with my girlfriend Xanthi. We went to like all around the world, went to like Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, and like around Southeast Asia. And while I was out doing, I made the bootleg before I went traveling, and I sent it to you and like a few other people, and they were like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I went traveling, and then I was in like the Philippines or some shit, and I had like no internet because like they don't have internet a lot of the places there. And I got back to like one of the airports and got on the Wi-Fi, and I was tagged in like 1,000 videos from New Year's Eve, from London Electricity playing it on New Year's Eve. Loads of people tagging me and shit, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really understand what was going on at that point.
You know, the maddest one, yeah, it's like when we played, so we played it, I think, about a month before that at the Egg.
Yeah.
And like someone took a video of it, obviously, and then they basically tagged us as like, everyone thought we did it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. We got a few followers off that. Not gonna lie about that one. Yeah, Galaxy, we kind of elevated a little bit because everyone thought it was us.
Do you reckon there's still a few people that think that's your tune?
Nah, like obviously now everyone knows, isn't it? But like it was funny because the first few weeks everyone was like, I was like Galaxy
bootleg,
high contrast, like bootleg's mad, isn't it? Like, but to be fair, like I remember playing that. I remember that night, man, playing it. Like the reaction it got was just, it was the first time anyone's heard it. It was like, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically someone took a video. And then, yeah, I think like Ketflix and Pills page, which has got like 500,000 followers or whatever on Instagram, like they posted it.
Yeah.
And that's when it just went
like spiraled up.
Yeah, it was mad. And then, yeah, we got a very strongly worded email from hospitals like, don't play that tune.
But did it?
I think it's because it got a reaction.
Because I think they basically want to do a thing with it. They want to make it into a thing.
And they wanted to okay it with high contrast.
Because they saw how well it done. They saw how well it done and were like, cool, we can maybe make it into a thing. I get it.
Were you out of interest signed to Shogun like that at this time? Or was it like sort of the transition just before that?
We were playing a Spearhead.
I don't think you were. I think you were Solvent.
Not that I think that matters like either way, but it's just clearly like an artist who's not a hospital artist has this banger that like if they were thinking about doing something with it, then of course they're going to try and lock you off playing it. Otherwise, by the time they came to release it, it'd be like, well, we've heard Galaxy play this tune 1,000 times anyway, so who cares anymore?
So, you know, to be honest, like, playing it that one time was enough, man. Like that was literally that one video went absolutely crazy.
Love that.
And then basically someone else, another big page, reposted like 3 months later. And I think Hospital thought we played it again. It was the same video. And then we got an even stronger worded email like, stop playing this tune. And we're like, we ain't played it, man. It's the same video anyway. You know, it's one of those, we can all laugh about it now. It's all good.
It's one of those ones that back then, there were very few tunes that would survive the test of time where like pre-release, you could get away with like every DJ hammering them for 9 straight months, then release it and expect people to still care.
Yeah.
And so for that bootleg to do that, because it did, like it was it easily like a year and a bit people waited for that release. I was
so bored of hearing people play that tune, not gonna lie. I was literally
I'm not surprised, man.
I don't want to hear this song anymore. Like, it's like a love-hate relationship, obviously, because like it's like basically built my career. Like no one would know who I am at this point if I didn't make that tune, pretty much.
And without Galaxy.
I might have like a few thousand followers, and without Galaxy playing the tune, obviously.
Oh, don't give him that one, mate. All the time he's like, oh, I've built your career, Rich. So shut up.
I'm a career maker, bro. That's what I do.
Mate. Career faker, more like.
Yeah, that's also fair. I mean, Jack, you can relate, man. You did a bootleg, it's done well for you.
Yeah, but no, I can relate in a sense that like I'm sick of hearing it now. But like I understand as well that like there are still people that want to hear you play it, and I'd feel like I'd be doing them an injustice if I didn't play it in a set. If that wasn't the factor, I would have stopped playing that tune, because for me, I'm kind of, the novelty is worn off, and I'm kind of bored of it now.
Jack, I had one mix at High Rise the other day, Metalheads, and like basically I'd been emceeing the whole day. We did 2 sittings, and the second sitting I was like, let me have a mix to like our 0T, AI, and both members of Scar, and I sort of drafted Loki on a little B2B for like the last however long. I was like, come get involved, because he was like, he was about, and he was like hanging with all of us. I was like, it'd be rude not to. Obviously, he's like Metalhead's veteran in it, so he got him involved. And I was like, let me have one mix in it, because obviously I like love having a mix, and that was all I'd done. And Noki just cut to me, he's like, you just shut them all down with one tune, because the place just went fucking nuts.
That tune still.
And I obviously like to play old school rhythms and whatnot, but like, yeah, I just like, this tune's gonna pop. And I said to Zero T, and he's like, fuck, I was gonna play that. He's like, I'll let you have that one. And then literally like someone come over, I think they all like tried to wheel it up, and it was like this like epic moment, man. It was like, honestly, I've got a very fond memory of that.
He realised suddenly he's been doing the wrong thing for the last 20 years. Like, why am I the DJ this whole time?
Literally should have been doing the one-man band show and actually earning money.
Yeah. But no, like, so the thing I was going to say about the bootleg, your bootleg, is what's been great is that you've actually followed up with like an even stronger catalogue of music. Because I think that could be for a lot. No, I won't say a lot of artists, but you know, some people have that one tune, that one moment where it's like that is the pinnacle, and it's like, you know, that's what everyone knows him for. But like, I feel like, I mean, do you feel like at this point, Unglued is like, you know, yeah, the bootleg's part of the story, but like, there's, you know, you've just fucking smashed it with other tunes.
Yeah, that's been my goal for a long time now, is to like make something that like is, so everyone knows me for that tune, but I don't want to always be known as like the guy that did that high contrast remix. Do you know what I mean? I want people to be like, oh yeah, Unglued made that album, or Unglued who did that other Unglued tune. You know what I mean? Not just like, oh yeah, that remix.
Yeah.
But like, I think I'm getting there. Like,
You're already there.
No, you have, bruv. This album. This album is it.
Let him talk. He might not feel that way. Let him talk.
I'm getting there. But I don't know. Like, it's, in terms of the music, obviously it's all opinion, isn't it? Some people are going to say, no, your album sucks. I love the high contrast remix. But, and in terms of like numbers, I probably won't ever make a track that streams more than the fucking If We Have a Remix.
That was crazy.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what metric do you measure by? What metric do you measure success by? By like the headsy, this is cool music, or by fucking streaming, or by physical. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
well, this goes back to what we said earlier.
Choose your poison.
Yeah, it's what we said
Full
earlier.
circle.
Like, you know, the people that build their careers off more like a social media personality, like their metric is very clear, because it's like they literally get the feedback instantly of like, it got this many likes. Whereas I think when we're doing what we do, like making a niche genre of music, because it is a niche genre of music in the grand scheme of things, I think that kind of, yeah, that respect from your peers, that kind of like, you know, that almost like folklorish level of like, oh yeah, do you remember that tune from 15 years ago that was like still doing bits or whatever? I think it's almost immeasurable in a way. It's more like a qualitative thing, but for me, it's massive still. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of almost prefer things like that are unmeasurable.
Yeah.
Because like, I think there's something quite poisonous about measuring success by a number, by like, how many likes do you get? How many followers do you have? Like, it's an actual quantitative figure of success, which
for a creative output,
which creative is not, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like, oh, how many followers does fucking Caliber have on Instagram?
Yeah.
Like fuck all.
It doesn't matter,
probably one of the best, biggest D&B producers of all time.
Yeah.
But he has like fuck all social media following. So it's, do you know what I mean?
That's mostly because he'd never really bothered with it, though, innit?
Yeah,
that just goes back to Josh's point earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're just measuring success, like, yeah, it's like, well, how do you measure your success? And they're the internet, there wasn't. It was just like the heads. It was just like.
To be fair, they were selling mad physical.
Oh yeah, they were selling a lot.
These
of vinyls,
are doing one EP and buying a yard. It was just like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what's that? 15,000 copies is vinyl. Yeah, no problem, mate. Yeah, that. I mean, the 90s was a good time for record sales, but I hear it's. But that's because again, it was more the quality of the music rather than like, you know, promotion. It was like people just love this tune. They heard it in a club. Like, oh, I want to buy that record.
Natural, organic, like word of mouth.
The funny thing about this conversation is obviously we started this with like the bootleg and, you know, that whole like angle that you know, however you went about that, like fine, like wicked, you know, it was a success. It was great. But it's kind of funny because if you look at what you do with your own music, you're almost the sort of polar opposite of that, because you have your own style. You're very you pay homage to the roots, like, which actually I suppose that bootleg in a way did, because that, you know, that high contrast tune was quite old and it was a classic in its day, but like you've really hold your integrity and your character and like within your music from what I've seen, and you really do pay homage to like kind of classic old school drum and bass jungle, which I think is very important. And it's like people sort of look at bootlegs as like the total opposite to that, and it's like you're
like
sort of
cliche.
leeching. Yeah, it's cliche. You're leeching off someone else, whereas actually, I know people never mean it for that. It's just a bit of fucking fun in it. Like let's all relax and just have a bit of fun with it. But I think what's really important about your journey since then is that you have really represented the polar opposite of that in my eyes, and you've done exactly what you've wanted to do, and you've really held your integrity. And you haven't played into the stereotype of what a bootlegger.
Like,
no,
do you know what I mean?
not
Yeah.
at all.
I like as well.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Like, coming back around to the album, the thing I like about it, when you listen to that album start to finish, it's like when your last single. The second class single was a tune called Hardcore. It's basically a hardcore.
The best title ever. That.
How many? Especially, you know what? It's the combination of what you're doing on the label you're doing it on as well. Because Hospital is the biggest label in drum and bass, right? And it is big dance floor, maybe normally like vocal driven, like big dance floor tunes.
Yeah. Normally more accessible.
Yeah, do the best on that label. But like here you are doing a hardcore tune, and like. Making it work, and it's a single, and people were loving it. Like, yeah,
I was really surprised by that track, like, because it's quite a curveball. Like, I made that tune for me because I wanted to put it on the album because I like that music, and I didn't think anyone would care. I thought, like, there's always like track 11 of the album.
No one gives a shit about track 11.
No one cares. Like, it's down there. Like, only like the true hardcore fans, like, ever listen to it. So yeah, I thought it was going to be one of them. So we put it out as a single, and like I wasn't expecting it to get a reaction, but yeah, it did. People seem to really like it. I think it's just because it's something like a bit different, trying to do different shit.
I think your album brings a lot of those different influences. Like the tune we did the video for, that's like basically an R&B tune, like R&B tune over like a jungle beat. It's sick, man. Like
I reckon there's quite a few probably like ignorant drum and bass fans that don't really know what you're about as well. Like correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I genuinely think that people that haven't done the research around you and probably like, were like, oh, the bootleg guy, or oh, he's on Hospital. Like you are so kind of unique in that like in the sense of that label, basically, like you're quite a unique artist for what they're putting out. Kings of the Rollers as well. Like, there's a lot of Liquid artists. They're smashing it at the moment, really, because there's a lot of variety in what they're doing. Like, I've got respect for that. And they're like, got lots of different styles within their label, which they're pushing. But you're probably the most unique one, I would say, personally. That's my interpretation.
I would say him and Bop are probably the two that are like, because they're completely different, completely different. Something I was interested in is like, do you think your style would be the same if you hadn't signed for Hospital? Do you think you would have got to the same point you're at now?
Oh, that's a hard...
Yeah, that's a good question.
Nah, it's part of my job, mate.
I think so. I think it would be, because I don't give a fuck what Hospital think, pretty much. Like, I just do what I want to do. Like, I just make tunes. Obviously, it gets A&R'd, but like that's a collective process. So like, if they really don't like something, they'll say no. And like, if I really like something, I'll put it in there. Like, we've both got the power to veto things.
You'll fight it, yeah.
But like, they've never said like to me, you need to make this, or do you know what I mean? I just do whatever I want. Like, my A&R process is very, very, very loose. Like, the A&R process is basically like that. Okay, you've got the deadline is in a month. Let's listen to the pot tunes, and then we like pick from them. There's not like, oh yeah, we want you to make a dance floor tune because it's going to make you really successful. You know? I just do what I want to do.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah. I mean, correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think that's a common misconception. That labels like tell artists, oh, you should write this kind of thing and you should do it in this certain way.
I think.
I mean, my experience is very obvious. It's very much
Tread carefully, gentlemen.
Here's what I'll say about that. I think artists who really have quite a strong artistic direction don't need a lot of A&R. So you, for example, have had your style's been pretty set, like from pretty early on. You and Harry, pretty strong artistic direction. Like, you know what Opponent Bryson direct. Like, you guys know what you're making.
You've got your niche.
I would say me and Tom to a certain degree have that as well. So I think for labels, that kind of works well for them, because like, just they want to help you just get better at what you're doing. I think for artists who kind of come in a bit unsure, they're very talented, like they're talented producers, but direction wise, they could go any direction. I think that's where labels A&R will basically be like, nah, we're going to steer down this direction. I don't think that's a secret. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing either. Maybe, I don't know.
No, but do you think a label would sniff around an artist that hadn't even kind of shown any sign of a direction? a creative direction.
Listen, man, you run a label. You tell me. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I was just throwing it out there. I was curious.
You caught him out there. Oh shit! Yeah, I do.
Yeah, this is my house, my area of expertise.
Answer your own question, then, Jack. Come on.
No, I would argue that you wouldn't sniff around an artist that hasn't already kind of begun to show signs of their own creative direction, their own identity. You would only sniff around artists.
Not even if you like received, you know, a promo like cold off of like, you know, someone who's not well known at all, and they send you, let's say, you know, between 1 and 3 tunes, and either, you know, they're all bangers, or they just send you one tune and it's sick, and you think, right, this guy can really produce. I don't agree with you on that. I reckon you blatantly would if you liked it enough.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we've signed individual tunes off of individual artists when they've sent us a pot of 5, but it's because the pot of, if I didn't like the other 4, I'm not interested in them, but the one tune that I took, I would. But in terms of exclusive signings, people you're asking to work with and work with you again, I don't turn around to them and go, write a 4-track dance floor EP after you sent me that one dance floor tune. Like, I don't turn around and go, no, you can't put a techno tune on there. You can't put a liquid tune. You can't try. Like, go for it. Do it.
The thing is, there is a certain element of like, yes, like that's a good thing, but also like you also want things to be coherent as well, though. Like an EP or like an album. EP is different because you can kind of go a bit mad with EPs, but I think with an album, it needs to have a DNA though.
Yeah, it's got to have a thread that runs through the whole thing.
Yeah, if you started making like, if it's 3 with like liquid, like Calibre-esque liquid tunes, and you suddenly did like a Dimension-esque tune next to it,
and then like a Hazard fucking jump up tune afterwards,
and then a techno tune, you're like, what's going on here, bro? I'm like,
which proves my point exactly. That you need to have a common thread with an artist before you even start sniffing around them saying we'd like to sign an EP or an album.
That's the one thing that I think, like in terms of drum and bass albums, like I think a lot of drum and bass albums are just like VAs.
Yeah,
like they could just be a VA album. Like
my 12 best tunes.
It's not. Well, like it's not like
it's a story,
a piece of music.
Yeah,
it's just like, a glorified big EP.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's what like I really struggled with when I was making the album. Like for it to be a listening album, because like for me, all the albums I'm a fucking hipster. I listen to vinyl. Like all the albums that I listen to, like I've got a record player. I put on an album because it's an hour long, and I'm gonna stick it on and forget about it and listen to it. An long player. So like an album is something you can listen to from beginning to end, and it's in the background or whatever, but it plays the whole way through and it's coherent and it's like one piece of music. And I think that's kind of lost in drum and bass sometimes because people are just like, I'm going to put 10 bangers on an album and it's going to be 10 fucking bangers.
Yeah.
So
that's what that whole single format release thing is kind of shining at the moment, which, and I, for the better or for worse, but like, you know, a lot of people are putting out albums as like just 10 singles.
Yeah.
And like, it is a thing that works again. It kind of plays into that whole algorithm thing, but.
And the 11th single is just compiling it onto the album on release day, isn't it? It's basically just the 11th single you didn't release.
Yeah, but I agree. For me, an album should be like a continuous story or like a whole. Here's Rich about to mention his album for the 7th podcast.
No,
in the wings, bro.
I avoided it last time, so I'm going to avoid it this time around. I actually just wanted to say that you're an old soul at heart, and I like that about you. And yeah, I think that's a good thing to have. And from someone who has a very similar opinion to what you just said and misses the days of being able to just press play at the start of an album and it coherently run to the end and be like a journey of, you know, whatever the journey is, it takes you from A to B, and it's a beautiful construct of music but fits coherently together. There's a lot to be said for that. I think we need more of that in drum and bass.
That's what I think is special about listening to music on vinyl, though, because like you put the needle on the record and you just let it play.
Away,
Whereas nowadays it's like, I don't like this tune, I'm just going to fucking press the button and skip it. And like, oh no, I don't skip it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like, you can't really do that on vinyl.
Or you
obviously can use a needle, but
or you let the app play you whatever it wants to play you based on an algorithm that has figured out what you like and what you don't. Which don't get me wrong, it's a sick feature, but that is the world we're living in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Discover Weekly.
I already Discover Weekly.
No. That's my point. So do I. But it's, you know, that is kind of the opposite to finding an album and then playing it the whole way through. It's like you're literally letting an app pick music to play you, like, which obviously has its advantages. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
not gonna lie, I found some sick tunes on Discover
same.
Weekly. I wouldn't have found that if Spotify didn't.
100. I'm not dissing Discover Weekly because I do think it's a sick feature. And it's one of my favorite things about Spotify. But I'm just saying it is very opposite to playing an album from start to finish.
It makes it a lot less special. Like when you find something in a record shop. And you're like, how many people have heard this before? Like, and you go on fucking Discogs and it's selling for like 3p. And like there's like 2 copies of it on there. Like no one's fucking heard of it. Yeah. And it's like, wow, I've found this crazy tune. Like there's a history behind it and it's much more personal and like special to you. Whereas when you're just like, so like impersonal.
Yeah.
On like Spotify.
What was the last album you listened to from start to finish out of interest?
Donald Byrd, Places and Spaces.
Sick. He's been sampled a lot in drum bass. Donald Byrd,
I sampled him on the album.
Oh, there you go. You're not supposed to say that. Don't you mean the sample was replayed?
I mean, yeah, I didn't sample him on the album.
Spotify gods
we'll beep that one out.
Yeah.
What's your favourite album to listen to from start to finish?
Oh, Jesus.
Have you got any that you kind of go back to? Like favourites?
There's lots for like different reasons. I think a lot of the Calibre Shelf Life albums I really like. There's a Leon Vinehall album that I really like. That's like a house album.
Which one? His new stuff's quite like mad, isn't it?
Weird shit.
It's kind of like
proper weird.
It's like cinematic.
I listened to it for like 20 minutes and I was like, are any drums going to come in? Like,
and they're all like, I swear he's called them like names of like, when like with classical music, it's like we had the numbers at the end of it. It's like a sonnet or not. What's the word? Someone's going to fucking call me out on this, but like there's like a name for like a classical tune when they do like pieces of it, and it's like a 1 and 2 and 3 version of that tune.
Oh yeah.
He's done that with his album. It's like figure 1 and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on?
It was weird. It's like when like you're trying to be too cool. And it's like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you're just coming across as a twat.
Yeah. John Hopkins' Immunity.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favourite albums, actually. John Hopkins' Immunity. That album's fucking crazy.
So, in the grand scheme of things then, this Unglued album, you feel like it's going to be... Yeah, you think it's going to be up there, standing the test of time?
I don't know. That's not for me to decide, is it?
Nah, you're right.
Like... We'll see.
Can you listen to it now that you've finished it?
People might not even care about it because it's fucking COVID. They'll just scroll straight past it and there won't be an album launch and there won't be anything. It'll just be off into the ether.
Don't say that, man. I need that booking.
Nah. I disagree, man. I think given the timing of it as well, even if 21st of June doesn't happen, it's 21st of July, like your album is such a good, such a nice energy to it where it's like a feel good. It's like a lot of weirdly with you because you make quite aggressive music sometimes. Like it's quite a good. It's like a lot of feel good factor to it though, and it's like it's like old and soulful like chords in there and stuff, and there's like shit like the roads in there and like I think it's the perfect. I actually think it's the perfect album for coming out of lockdown. Like thinking about how
Summer
it sounds.
vibes.
Think about how it sounds, man. That fucking the tune we did like the video for. What's it called? Way Back When.
Way Back When, yeah.
Bro, summer anthem.
Well, that tune's about missing raves.
Yeah,
like about not. Because all the tracks on the album are made from like they're about a certain moment in time or like a certain memory. So like Springs and Things is like my memory of Boomtown, like that memory, like trying to get that into a tune, and like Iknusa, which is the name of the beer from Sardinia.
Sun and Bass Gang.
That is my.
Fucking knew I recognised that name from somewhere.
Yeah, bro. You know about the Ignoose with the lemon touching it as well.
Ignusa Limon.
Yeah, that's
limon. That's going to be the VIP.
That's a sick idea. That's actually a sick idea.
Have you spoken to Mitch Blue Jay about this?
No.
He's going to... Do you know him? Yeah, Mitch Noosa.
Yeah.
He's going to be like fully gassed, and so will Hayden from Ill Truth, because that's basically their nickname for Mitch Blue Jay is Mitch Noosa, because he literally loves that beer so much.
Who doesn't love that beer?
Hayden got him a towel that was like with the logo,
I see
like
that.
for his birthday with the logo of the beer, but like they changed the text and it said Mitch and like, how do you pronounce it then?
Mitch Noosa. It's
Ignusa.
Ignusa. Yeah. So Mitch Noosa, like that. It's literally like a personalised towel. Like that's how militant they went.
See
with
what that beer?
Ratings
I genuinely
hated.
think if you drank that beer in the UK,
It would taste like shit.
Yeah, right.
It's where you are, man.
It's just because you're on a beach, it tastes so good.
I don't think it even tastes that good to me out there. To
Oh,
be honest.
nah, bro.
I'm not really ramping with it.
Now, by beer number 10, it tastes fantastic.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Beer number 10.
Beer number 10 or cocktail number 1.
I'm
Callum is
usually
playing on
by
the
then.
beach, just like this is the perfect beer for the perfect time.
Beer number 10, I'm in bed by then, mate.
Yeah. But you also had a Sardinian Sunrise.
Yeah,
That's on there, isn't it?
yeah, like they're all moments in like memories of things that have like inspired me to make a track. So like Ignusa was DLR back-to-back Ulterior Motive in the gazebo.
Right.
Probably the best set I've ever seen in my
That
life.
set, man.
I came home and I was like, that set was fucking unreal. I need to make a track that's like reminds me of that set, like that moment in time.
Yeah, yeah.
And like that's what the whole album is inspired by.
What
It's
was the
all,
old
like,
name of that
moments.
tune? You had such a funny project name for that tune.
Dockland Intention.
Dockland Intention.
Because it was DLR and Ulterior Motive.
Yeah.
Like
So
Dockland,
Dockland Rail.
Ulterior Motive,
Intention. That's such a sick name.
Intention.
Such a sick name. Bro, but can we just talk about that set for like 1 second though? Because that, I remember me and you walking away
Mate,
from that being
yeah.
like,
That was insane.
it was ridiculous. Like it was in the gazebo. They did 2 that night. I think they did one outside and one in the gazebo.
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
they?
gonna say that is the best that I've ever heard in my life. Like
Right, it's-
for that type of like bass driven energy drum and bass, fucking, it was just crazy.
Yeah, it's in my top 3 for sure. Like of best sets of all time.
I don't think I was there for that.
I
I think I was with you two when we watched Jubei in the
Well, in the
Gazebo.
gazebo as well. Yeah, that was the year after, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
this was the year before. I'm pretty sure.
This,
Yeah,
like,
I
this was like
wasn't there that year.
2017.
I'm
Was it the
bang out
first
this
year?
one.
Or
I think it might have been the first year we went. Yeah.
yeah, fucking unreal.
I think my first year was 2018.
Nah, you were 2018. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. 18 and 19 were the only 2 I did.
Yeah.
I only ever did 2 days.
Yeah, you missed out, man. Because
I know. Stop it.
That-
Stop it. I didn't realise we'd have to wait another fucking 3 years for another Sun and Bass.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
you know how I feel about that festival, man. That is just.
I know.
Yeah.
Heaven on earth.
Yeah.
So, seeing we're talking about Sun and Bass, like, what was the stuff you're going to hot John out?
Nah, wait. Let's before we get there. Listen, well, you know what? He already hotted me. Yeah, 'cause on
Fading into the bush.
mate, on his
Oh,
promo.
yeah, that
Nah.
was going to be one of mine.
Bruv, on the promo for our tune, Algorithm, you
Yeah.
don't remember what you did to me? You stuck that photo.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
I did.
video. So it's like a minute-long video, yeah, where he was like, oh, yeah, Algorithm, Galaxy, Unglued Galaxy coming out, whenever. And it's like a video, like a cool, like, visual thing. And then the last 5 seconds is just that image of me in that bush.
Passed out in a bush.
Passed out in the bush at like 6 in the morning.
That's the classic Jon GLXY impression of Homer Simpson.
Yeah, the Homer Simpson
Yeah,
meme,
yeah,
innit?
He backs
Yeah.
into the hedge.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the image for the group chat.
I mean, it's
for a
not
while.
difficult to find messy pictures of John.
Yeah.
Is that
No.
every picture of John is messy?
I've actually got one lined up for his birthday already. He doesn't know about.
no.
I just need to remember now.
You should print it out onto like a flag.
So we had Ignusa, Sardinian Sunrise. What are the other ones
Yeah.
for you that are like special?
What in terms of like the moments,
Yeah.
or like places? Yeah, they're all like places like South by West. That's like
This
a
is
proper
one I'm
feel
keen
good.
on. This is my favourite one on the
That's
album.
like inspired by my best mate's coffee shop in a weird way. Like the sample is called Kofi, like KOFI, and yeah, like I don't know. It's just like inspired by like his influence in my musical tastes and that coffee shop. And like I used to just go there all the time. We'd like listen to jazz and like hip hop, and like in the morning, like before work, I'd go get coffee and we just chill for like half an hour and just listen to tunes. Yeah, that's and then way back when was obviously like because they're all inspired by moments or like gigs from whatever in the past. Way back when is like the tune saying like, can we go back to the times that we felt the sunshine?
And Esther smashed the vocal on that one.
Yeah, she's insane, man. She's so talented.
So talented, man.
Her voice is just unreal.
Yeah.
Like literally pitch perfect. Like there's no pitch correction on that track at all. Like I just put her voice in and I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
That is done. Yeah. It's mad sometimes when someone sends you a vocal so perfect, like a record with a good mic in a good room, pitch is on point. It's just like, I'll just add a little bit of reverb and it's just like,
Yeah, a little bit of multi-band compression,
Yeah,
boom,
done.
easy.
yeah. I know certain people that like Jack Worth was going to hear this and be like, no, that's not how you mix down tunes. I've been to Sunbase 3 times with you, I think now.
Yep. I've only been 3 times. I think they've all with you.
Yeah, we've had a villa the whole time. And one thing that has been one of the highlights of living with Josh for a week in Sardinia is this man can cook. This man.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard about this.
This man in the kitchen is crazy. It's a Mazzini.
Yeah,
because we tried to organise like
Chef
you were going to
Unglued.
cook a big
Chef Unglued,
dinner
bro.
and everything, and then I think like it all just.
No,
we did
all
cook a big dinner.
We cooked
Last
big
one.
dinners like every night, pretty
Yeah,
much.
we did.
No, I think when I was there, because I missed out on like one of the evenings where you were going to do it. I think we were all going to go for drinks and dinner around yours, and then we ended up just ordering a pizza or something from somewhere because of how late it was.
Yeah, we
maybe.
did a few big dinners.
Yeah.
But,
missed out.
So I guess the question is like, if you weren't doing music, do you reckon you could have a food? Like, would you reckon you'd pursue Korean food?
it's working in catering is fucking hard work, man. Like ridiculous hours and ridiculous hard work. I love cooking food, and I love like making people happy by creating things. I think that's why I like music and I like cooking. But yeah, geez, that's hard work. Like, mad respect to anyone that works in the catering industry, because it's just like long hours for like very little rewards. Like, it's hard work. Like, people are nagging me to like go on MasterChef. Like, Tom's told me like a million times, like, bro, go on MasterChef.
Have you ever
Bro,
met-
go on MasterChef. Oh, jeez.
Have you ever met Steve Survival?
Yeah, I actually met him before I went traveling. Like, one of my first gigs for hospital before like anything had happened. He had a little food store at one of the hospital shops, and like I've proper like fanboyed him. I was like, bro, I fucking love your tunes, bro. Bro, I fucking love your cooking, bro. Can I get photos?
Did you watch him on MasterChef?
He's so sound. Yeah, I watched him the whole way.
He's actually a really good mate
nice
of mine,
guy.
man. Yeah. He's fucking G, bro.
I've only met him that one time.
Okay.
And yeah, he's just really not. You know, I think it says a lot about someone's personality when you have no status. You're just a fucking anonymous no one. Yeah, and they've got time and respect for you to have a conversation with you, to listen to you, and like they've got time for you. Like, it says a lot about people's personalities, about how they treat people that they perceive to be like beneath them. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you are just kind to someone because you're just a kind person, I think that says a lot. Like, if you're just rude to someone because you think they're a nobody, like, that says a lot.
Yeah.
He's one of the most down to earth people I've ever met in my life, and he's a very honest and humble human being. Like, he would agree with you. He doesn't really correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, if you're listening, which he won't be. he'll be out taking photos or cooking food because he's just got better things to do with his time. He's like, genuinely, that's like, you know, he's on the creative shit, and, you know, doesn't need someone fueling his ego or anything like that. It's not about that for him. It's just about, you know, enjoying things and creating stuff, and, you know, meeting like-minded people through that. I think he's fucking G, man. I can't speak highly enough about Steve. And yeah, if you haven't seen the MasterChef, definitely go back, check it out, because he comes across really well on TV, man.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Didn't he come like, he came third or something?
He was like second.
Yeah, he was in the final. He's in the final.
Second, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people actually, there was like mass uproar about that online, because they were like that he should have won,
Mate,
and the other chick should have won. Yeah.
Yeah, he's mad. And yeah, I tried some of his food at that food store, and it was fucking banging.
I went for a studio session around his not too long ago, and it was just like, yes, we need to do more shit, more studio shit. Not to do music, I just want to come and eat food. But like, yeah, man, he's doing loads of like pop-up stuff. There was a dude actually who I think his missus bought him the Metalheads tasting menu thing. That, I don't know if you see Steve do that, but he did a big Metalheads thing, and he named all the dishes after tunes, and it was fucking crazy, man. The creativity behind it was nuts. And I think some like female drum and bass fan whose boyfriend was like mad into drum and bass, she like paid for their anniversary to get Steve to come to their yard and cook them like that for two.
Sick.
Really?
Yeah,
that's mad.
Obviously it costs a fair bit, but he was like, yeah, I was just around these two randoms yards, like just cooking them the Metalheads tasting menu.
That is sick though.
Yeah, proper sick. Mate, if you're like interested, genuinely, he does loads of shit, man. You know, I don't know if you know Lecter, but he used to be like,
he's an actual chef.
He's an actual pastry chef, and like worked for Jamie Oliver for a while, and like loads of fucking big players. And every time Steve does a thing, he helps him out. So he's always looking for like helping hands and stuff.
There you go,
hit him up,
Josh.
bro.
It's one of those things. It's like, it's on the bucket list, you know.
Yeah,
I do want to go on MasterChef at some point, and yeah, I might do terribly, I might do good, who knows? But it's just one of them things.
I reckon
I'm going to get there.
Listen, bro,
wait till you're like ready in it. Then
yeah,
you can,
exactly.
like,
You only get one chance. Like
yeah.
that's the same thing with like the whole hospital thing. Like I was making tunes for years, sending tunes to Jon, like Tom, like I was making loads of shit, but I never sent it to anybody because I was like, I don't want to put stuff out there until I'm ready. You know, like you only get one first impression, so make it a good first impression.
Like Eminem said that. Eminem chance.
I don't know, man. Unglued said it, bro.
You only get one chance. What was it? You only get one chance to blow. It's like that. Unglued said that. Man. Come on, I love that energy.
You're talking about lose yourself.
Yeah, lose yourself in it. Yeah. Not miss your chance to blow. Yeah, that's it. What is your general opinion on Foghorn?
Like it was cool and interesting at first, and then when everyone started just copying each other, like it gets a bit boring, innit? But like obviously there's certain people that make those tunes and they bang in the rave. Like they're popular for a reason because they sound fucking sick on a system. But it just gets boring when like everyone is trying to copy the latest thing because they think that's going to make them successful. Like that's a bad way to try and build your career.
So it's like, it's interesting because like, when I was thinking about this podcast earlier, I was thinking like, you know, like topics we could talk about. Something that was interesting with you is because you don't quite fit into a box, like stylistically. You kind of, I see you on different types of lineups that kind of, you know, you'll get put with the Jump Up guys or the Foghorn guys. Or, you know, you can just so easily be on like a hospital lineup with like Liquid people or whatever. Like, do you see yourself more on one side or the other, and is there like a direction you'd like to go more towards, or is it just like you're just happy being this guy that kind of can't be, you can't categorize me, man.
Enigma.
Yeah. You can't work me out, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I like all drum and bass. I've always liked all drum and bass. I haven't ever been like, I'm a Liquid DJ, or like I'm a dance floor, or I'm a jungle DJ. Do you know what I mean? Like I like all types of music, and that's why I like in my sets I play all types of music. Like I might drop a few jump up tunes, I might drop a few jungle tunes, might drop a few Liquid tunes. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's kind of why I do get put on like loads of different lineups. And also I just mostly read the crowd. Like I'll just play, if I'm at like a Hazard and Hype night, and I'm not going to just start playing Galaxy tunes. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, you should educate the masses, bro. To be fair, you know, you say that, yeah, but like I remember once, like my first or second ever time I played Fabric, I got put on a lineup with like Magistrate and Lemon D. Not Lemon D, Magistrate and Nicky Black Market. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna play? I think I just played like 15 break tunes and then left. But yeah, like it was a mad one. I was like, I can't play any Liquid here, man. Like, yeah.
Have you ever been like squeezed in between two weird kind of other DJs on a lineup and kind of just,
I don't pay that much attention.
What the fuck am I going to do?
I don't pay that much attention to it. I just play what I want to play. Yeah. But like, obviously, like people have paid money to come and watch me play. So I'm going to play whatever I want to play. But at the same time, if I'm playing tunes and people are just fucking standing around like, we don't like this, I'll switch it up because I want people to enjoy themselves and have fun. Like obviously you want to take risks and you want to do interesting, different things when you're DJing, but still you're there to enable other people to enjoy themselves. So if people aren't dancing, people aren't enjoying themselves, like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, my biggest regret with your music so far, mate, is you didn't leave that original sample in that, you know that Foghorn tune you made?
Oh yeah.
You know the original sample you left in there?
The Jurassic Park.
No, it was
sample.
like, yeah. I'm so upset you didn't leave.
Why are we still talking about dinosaurs?
It's
always back to dinosaurs.
It's all come back to dinosaurs.
Let's segue out of dinosaurs.
Wait, we need to get the Jurassic Park sample.
Yeah, honestly. He put this in before the drop. I was like, you need
You know, I actually sent this version to people. And, there's no internet in here. I actually sent this version to people. This is the version that I put on Instagram as a joke. People still think it's serious. But I can't get it to load, but basically it's in Jurassic Park, and the geezer's like, that is one big pile of shit. That's the sample before the drop. People still don't realise I was taking the piss.
It's so funny, man. Honestly.
It's because like that kind of D&B is meant to be fun, and it? So like, a lot of people wouldn't think that's piss take because someone could do that seriously and it would, go off.
But like, I'm not cussing anyone out on that. I'm not trying to like fucking slate all Foghorn producers because like,
just having fun.
I still like exactly. It's like on my album, I've got a track called "Make Rollers Roll Again,"
Yeah.
And,
I
I had an interview with UKF, and they were like, "So, you need to talk to us about this politically fueled track title." And I was like, "It's not political. It's just it's
just having fun."
Yeah, I like drum and bass that has rolling breakbeats in it, and like there's this new wave of like rollers, which are basically foghorn tunes. But like when you used to say, "Oh, that tune's a roller," it meant like it was a rolling drum pattern.
Yeah.
Whereas now that means like
My
it's
jaw is
got a
rolling
big
off my
resonant
face.
bass in it. Yeah.
My jaw is rolling off my face right now.
Jon GLXY, Sun and Bass, 2018.
Jon GLXY Son of Bass with your jaw rolling off his face.
I do love that track title, but I think Hardcore is my favourite one. Just because it's not
H to
hardcore.
the A to the
Yeah,
R to the D.
yeah, I love it. I love
Is
the
that a play
commitment.
on Super Sharp Shooter? Is that a really stupid question? Or is it not?
Kind of. I don't know. That's just what I called it when I was high, and I made that tune.
I rated
and
it.
I was like, "What can I call this tune? It's a hardcore tune. Oh, H to the A to the R to the D to the R to the E. That'll do."
The best thing about it when you find it on Spotify is as you're like reading through, if you don't know it's called that already, you're literally doing it in like the Super Sharp Shooter. You're like H. And you're like, what does it actually spell? Like, I got well excited. I was like, shit.
It's,
I was like, oh,
it's been in a
hardcore,
few
sick.
like playlists for like,
It's just like-
represent and stuff like that. Like they tag you on the Instagram thing, and there's like all these like serious titles, and it's like Unglued, and it's like 3 lines long.
It's the longest title of a track.
Do you know what I'm really curious about? Have you managed to get any sort of like big radio support? Like,
Not
I'm
really.
really keen to hear Annie Mac spell that. Like, read that track title out, for
Yeah.
I
example.
thought she
Like,
played that tune, didn't she?
Nah,
she played something else of yours, didn't she?
she
recently, I
played
think I saw?
a few like my old Total Ecstasy. She played that.
yeah.
She smashed that tune loads. She played it like loads of weeks in a row, like 6 weeks in a row or something.
Fucking hell.
But
Great track.
This album so far hasn't got any big radio support. Like I
So
thought
far.
way back when it's quite accessible because it's kind of an R&B tune. So I thought that might do well on radio. I think that's gone on Represent, but it hasn't really got any like traction from like big radio DJs or anything. But then it is kind of an underground.
I was going to say, how much
I
value
quite like that.
Yeah, how much value do you put on that though?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it. It's not who the album
I think
into. If the right people will get behind it and shit, mate,
I think we've had one play from Annie Mac in our total career, and it was really nice to see it. Don't get me wrong,
I don't think we have.
but it's because you make crap music.
Yeah.
I think
Do you know what? I'll take that, John. You're a prick.
I think the whole thing you said about you wanted to make an album that stood the test of time. I don't think that if you're getting like an Annie Mac, if Annie Mac played every single one of your tunes on radio from your album, that album ain't standing the test of time, is it? Like it's the short term glory shot, isn't it? Like if it is a bit more underground and it's maybe not getting that attention, sort of the best albums in the sense of the way we're speaking as like standing the test of time kind of do slip a bit under the radar at the start, don't they? They take a bit longer to understand. People take the time to study it, research it, fully dig into the depths of it, and fall in love with it effectively. It's not something instant love isn't the gratification. That's
the
a social
dopamine hit you were talking about before, bro. It's all come full circle.
It's a social media hit that is not sustainable.
I
really,
think
is it?
sometimes when things slip under the radar, it's kind of better long term as well. Like you were saying, I remember I was reading an interview the other day, and Break was saying that his first album, Symmetry, like he said he like that went quite under the radar for him, and like he didn't think that it got much reaction at the time, which is mad because like when that came out for me, I was like fucking hell, like blew my mind. I was like fucking hell, I love this album. But yeah, it's funny how it's so different from artist perspective as it is from like the consumer perspective. Like I don't know, you're never satisfied, are you? You're never content. Like even if like it's really successful and things do really, really well and whatever, it's still never enough. It's like insatiable. Like you always want to do better. You always want to be bigger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely fly this flag because like all of my music has slipped under the radar. So I'm hoping what we're saying is
Someone going to tell him.
There's some truth in it.
Someone going to tell him or
What?
Why is it under the radar? Oh, that's being mean.
No, you're just being a prick again, John. Stop being so mean.
Don't try and jump on my own cussing myself back.
If you say mean shit, yeah, someone's got to react straight away. Otherwise, this is really awkward. It's like, ooh, that's awkward. Yeah.
Your album sounds to me like it hasn't been written by somebody who's trying to appeal to the people that are after a 4-minute dopamine hit. Your album has been written for people that want to listen to an album.
Well, it sounds like his album's been written for him.
Yeah, but people like-minded people like yourself who want to enjoy albums. Like,
yeah, well, it's a big thing. Like your first album, it's like a very personal thing, isn't it? Like, it's quite scary. I've kind of been putting it off for like 2 years. Like hospital were like, so you want to do an album? I was like, no. Like, next day in our meeting, so you're going to do an album? No. Like, I've just been putting it off until I felt like I was ready.
Man, it's so scary, man. Like you said, it's like any like artist or creator, whatever. It's your first like major milestone.
It's like your little baby, innit?
Exactly.
And it's like a small piece of your soul.
Yeah,
that you're packaging up and putting out for like feeding to the wolves.
Yeah. It's nuts. No, it's actually the way it's described. That's perfect, to be honest, man.
I just thought that sounded like every Friday and Saturday night I've had for the last 20 years. Small pieces of my soul fed to the wolves. That was dark, Josh.
He's completely right there, man.
But you know,
it's parts of your soul you never fucking get back. You spend 2 years working on the pissing thing.
Yeah. But everyone I know that's written an album, generally, their first album, they've looked back and said, I'm so glad I did that, because it's like,
oh yeah,
it has that special place in your heart as well. Even though it might not be the best sonically, it might not be the best mixed down, whatever. You always look back at that first album and be like, that was like the rawest version of like my music. And then like, you know, like
it's a part of the process. I think it's part of identity building and identity kind of discovering who you want to be and what you want to do with your music and where you want to go and how you want to change things, like how you want to switch things up. I think an album is the best opportunity and quite frankly, the most effective way of achieving that. Like if you want to find out where can you take your style next and what can you do?
Yeah, it allows you to develop like on the fringes of what you're capable of. Because like if you're just making EPs, you've got to have a banger on there. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have one tune that's like the banger.
One vocal tune.
Yeah. Do you know, so whereas like when you're doing an album, it gives you an opportunity to like develop those strange little things that you're making that never see the light of day.
Shit, like
experiment.
Yeah. Which you wouldn't get away with that in a short form. Like piece
not a 4-track EP. I think there's people that would appreciate it, and I think there's people that would consume it. But the average person, I think, understands that you have a sense of separation between album projects and all other forms of release, like EPs. And I think there's one label that I think is frequently trying to switch that up,
North
and that
Quarter.
Perception, that's the North Quarter. Exactly that.
Yeah.
Like fucking
10 tracks or like they're kind of albums, but they're like not. Yeah.
But like a Red Eye's 12-track album, but every album's like 3 tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, every track is like 3 tunes in one.
Like a hip hop with a drum and bass.
Yeah,
thing.
like,
That was sick, man. Yeah.
How do you make a 3-part album that isn't 2.5 hours long?
Yeah.
And wouldn't appeal to the other. Oh, you just condense it all into, and like it just gels so beautifully.
That's why our last EP was 6 tracks, and I really enjoyed them actually. Because it means we could do like a garage thing or whatever. Like it's like that's like a nice opportunity to switch.
That was
up.
literally like one of my favorite tunes that you've made.
Yeah,
I fucking love that tune
same for me
so
and Tom.
much.
Same for me and Tom. I think that's genuinely like that's definitely one of the favorite tunes we've made, man. Like it's just fun. Garage is just spitting drum bass, isn't it? It's just spitting drum bass.
Garage is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I find that quite frequently a lot of people say that some of their favorite tunes from producers are the non-drum and bass ones.
Yeah.
Like my favorite Spectra Soul tune is Ish Chat off their first album,
More.
Delay No More. Yeah. Like, that's my favorite tune. It always has been, always will be.
To be honest, off that album, there are like 5 alternative bangers that are like just fucking.
I mean, that whole album is just gold.
Oh, mate, that's in the top 5. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's no pressure at all for any shagging artist, is it? When you look back and like, oh shit, 1984.
For you, maybe. I mean, we did our debut before. We did our debut before we jumped on Shogun, so we were all right. You're
probably like the top 50 best album they've dropped, isn't it?
Probably top 50, yeah.
How many albums they released? Like 49?
Probably 49. What's the maddest rider you've ever seen?
The maddest rider I've ever seen.
Yeah. You play with some big boys as well, so I want a good story here.
There's no pressure. Few. BC's got Pretty Mad Rider. He has like a fucking cheese board and red wine.
Oh, I love that though.
That's all right. Yeah.
Who Whiny used to have like a pretty crazy rider until we told him he needed to get rid of it. He had like a selection of crisps, a selection of fresh fruit, like a selection of sweets, like, and he never fucking ate any of it.
He's just taking it home.
I was like, bro, you're making these promoters like buy you this random shit and you never even eat it.
That's just his weekly shopping, bro. That's jokes.
The worst ones are when you get like massive bottles of spirits and you're abroad. And you realise that if you don't drink the entire bottle tonight, you can't take it home.
The entire bottle.
Yeah, so you end up drinking the whole bottle, but then the next day you ultimately regret it.
That sounds like a you problem, to be honest, man. Like,
What, not drinking the whole bottle?
Yeah.
Just
having to drink
share the love.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I actually never take Riders home because I'm always going to put, like, if it's like, there's like that much left in the bottom, so I just give it to someone else, innit? So I just finish it,
share
man.
love.
Like, yeah. What is the greatest ever rave moment you've ever seen, both as a DJ or as a punter? So you're in the club and some mad shit just happened.
Or like joke story or something. I think this is the same question, in it, like something around of that ilk.
Wholesome one first.
I like this. Yeah, we can have options.
I like the categories he's got.
Yeah, subcategories. Let's go.
Wholesome was before like anything had picked. Like I was still just like a raver. I took my little brother Max to see LTJ Bookham at Patton's in Brighton. That was like his first ever drum and bass gig that he'd ever been to, and I think probably the first time he'd ever been properly drunk. Not gonna lie, and yeah, he's fucking loving it. Like he's quite like uptight sometimes, and it was just real nice to see him like just let his hair down, just like enjoy himself. That was sick. That was like one of the nicest memories in a rave I got. If we're going dark,
how many you got?
That switch up.
How have we got left?
Wholesome to the fucking.
I saw a dead person at Boomtown. That was pretty dark.
Well, that escalated so much quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Josh,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I've never seen you two stunned. I've never seen by somebody saying something.
I just didn't see that coming, I'll be honest.
Usually we're the ones that are gunning for the cancel. Right? So, I feel like you need to elaborate a bit more on that, like, or maybe not.
He'd obviously just taken too much of something, and we were walking past, and there was like security coming. Yeah, bad memories. Poor guy.
Damn.
What about as
rave safe people? Rave safe.
Yeah. Fuck, that's mad. Yeah, I mean, I just like, where do I go from there?
Can we brighten the mood? Have you got any like funny ones? Like,
Oh yeah, sorry, we haven't fulfilled all the categories yet. All the colours of the rainbow.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, we need to lighten than that.
Funny rave.
I imagine Australia tour with whiny Dex and that. You must have seen some funny shit, man.
That was when we played in. I can't remember where it was. I was too drunk every single day, but we played the gig and then we went to the casino afterwards, and they were like, we didn't bet. We just kept going up to the bar and get drinks and just like walking around pretending that we were using machines, just like fucking pressing buttons and shit, just like drinking all the booze. Like they obviously knew that we weren't like gambling at all. We just carried on drinking, and then the securities was like, "Yeah, you need to get out." And we were like, yeah, we're just going to go over here. And like, we just carried on doing this for like half an hour. And then they were chasing us around. It was literally like Pac-Man. Like, we're going in between all the fucking machines and shit.
That's quality.
I'm just imagining you all just standing around this machine.
Me and Dex and Whitey
pretending we won something.
Fucking twat.
Yeah. And Will's there like the mum, like, stop doing that. Will Keno's like, stop doing that.
Oh no, Keno had gone to bed.
Oh shit! All right.
Well, I laugh, but I realise that I'm the fucking Keno in our on our weekends away, innit? I am always the fucker who goes to bed first.
This is why for the Shogun tour, I'm gunning for you not to go if I'm going. I want Harry to go to be more fun.
I don't want you coming, John.
Yeah, Tom can go if you can do your 6 a.m. runs and shit.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna go for cycles.
Tom and his Lycra is like, 6 a.m. Let's go for a run around the mountains and that.
Mate, we're like at Sun and Base.
Tom's
like,
going for runs at Sun and
we get home at like 6 a.m. from the night out, and Tom's there in his lycra about to go for a run. Bro, how are you awake going for a run?
Fucking hell.
Fitness guy.
Fair
He loves
play.
it. Yeah, fair play, but also allow it. You know what I mean?
You're on holiday, bro.
So we do obviously leave a section at the end for you just to plug whatever you want to plug. I feel like it's going to be a very obvious thing for you to plug, right? What have you got coming up?
So my album is coming out soon, Interplanetary Radio. I've got my album launch at Studio 338
Hold tight.
with a load of other sick DJs. Ooh.
Some shit ones as well.
And some shit DJs.
Some awful ones.
And some shit MCs.
And some awful MCs.
He won't let me get away with that one, was he?
But also SP's playing as well, so you know some good MCs as well. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
Don't forget Dex as well.
the Source and SPMC.
I'm looking forward. That's going to be
Oi,
that's
oi.
going to be levels.
First time ever.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, keep an eye out. The album's out 25th of June.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's 25th. It's 2 weeks time.
Should we have a look in the calendar?
I think it's 25th.
It will be like hopefully just after we drop this.
Yeah,
probably.
so maybe it's already out, maybe it's not, but whatever.
It
Go.
is the 25th of June, yeah, the Friday.
If it's already out when this podcast is out, just listen to it. It's a bad boy album. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, smoke a blunt, put your headphones on, listen to it from start to finish, boom.
There you go.
There you go.
Boom.
Sweet.
Well, this has been episode
What more
7.
do you need?
This has been episode 7. Thank you very much.
Big
Mr.
ups, Josh.
Unglued, for coming down.
Thanks
mate.
for having me. Pleasure as always.
Let's go get a beer. Let's get some food, I think.
Yeah, boy.
Amazing. Cool. We'll see you later. Bye.
Safe.
Ciao.
Peace.